I've never met a liberal Democrat that had a lick of common sense. How's that? They might be book smart, but not a lick of common sense. Dumb as a post.
Well, that guy's pissed, isn't he? And then you have this. What a contrast, right? That's right outside of Fortuna, California. Now you get off the back roads in Northern California and you see all kinds of things you'd miss. And we did. We spent 2 weeks driving around Northern California on a road trip in the fall of 2025. I'm going to take you through the beginning to the end, and I'm probably going to have to break it up into different videos because we filmed too much stuff. God, we saw so many things. Even bad stuff, because that's what most people want to see. You're weird. Here you go, part 1. Lost in Northern California, right now. Getting on the 101.
In a quarter mile, merge onto US 101 North.
We are on our way out of Vacaville, Central California, up heading to Northern California, where it's going to be some real California rednecks. And we're on the side of the freeway, and somebody's digging on the side of the road. All these beautiful houses out here. Just rolling estates. Cloverdale, California.
Your destination is on the right.
On a rainy day. Oh my God, tacos. That never gets old.
Well,
On a rainy day in Cloverdale. Willits, California, right in the middle of the central northern 101, gateway to the Redwoods. Simple middle-class California life, way up in the mountains. What a pretty day to be filming. A little bit of clouds, a little bit of trees, there's trucks going back and forth. Hard-working folks up here. And a bunch of burnouts. First stop on the journey was Little Willits, California, right on the 101. This was an old logging and railroad town, but we don't do nearly as much of that as we used to, so it's kind of stagnant. There's about 4,800 people in town. The population's going down. We're going to talk about that a lot in this video. People are leaving Northern California because of the cost and the politics. They're red up here, and the damn state votes blue. That's frustrating. And also because pot is legal now, and these old trim towns, well, they lost all that black market money. We're going to talk about that a lot. Up here, it's very blue collar. Hard-working Americans. That's why we came. All around you up here, it's mountains, rivers, and dispensaries. Lots and lots of weed. A little food mart here in Willits. Very simple, basic. This is actually the cheapest gas that you can find in the area. It's kind of hard, the way the camera works. I think you can see that's $4.55 for regular, and that's the cheapest in town. There's $5 on some of them up here. But just a very simple life. Very quiet out here in Northern California. Wouldn't even know you were in California up here. This is the part of California that I love. Guns and weed. That's pretty much central Northern California for you. Tough guy stuff. Whiskey stuff. So it is a fall morning. The leaves. First time we've seen fall up here. This is in Willits in Northern California. A little old former ranchy mining town. Just middle class California. Feels very different from the rest of the state up here. We're up here where it's a lot more commonsensical, peaceful. Northern California mountains. Breath of fresh air. A lot of people don't even know California has this, but it does. Coming up on Laytonville, another tough old place along 101. All right, we are along the 101 in Laytonville. It's a little sleepy little place here, maybe an hour north of the other small town. I don't know, they're all just small towns along the 101. It's very peaceful up here. It's the very end of September, very laid back, my kind of place. You see a lot of trucks, a lot of more pickup trucks, a lot of rough and tumble folks up here who don't want to be part of the rest of California, and you can't blame them. Something that really stands out here, you're going to see this over and over again, an old dispensary that used to be a thing right off of 101. It is no longer a thing. A lot of these dispensaries open up. We're in Mendocino County. This was the weed capital of the damn world for forever. And then the local economy was booming when it was illegal. And then they legalized pot, and a lot of places sprung up and tried to do it the legal way, and they just could not make it. Regulations, competition. So the economy up here that thrived on basically illegal pot, there is no illegal pot anymore, and a lot of these little towns have suffered. Not only the dispensaries, but just the general population has less scratch in their pockets because nobody's growing weed anymore like they used to. And that's a damn shame, damn it. But the rest of town, it's hanging on. These are just little small places out here we're right on 101. This is the main drag all the way up to Oregon. We're a few hours from that, but it's pretty sleepy. Not really a lot going on here. But I'll take it over Oakland, I'll tell you. There's another dispensary across the street. It too has gone out of business. The weed economy up here in Mendocino County is suffering. All right, I just talked to the woman inside of the ranch market. She didn't want to be on camera. She basically said what I already knew, which is the pot economy here has collapsed, and a lot of people that used to live on pot cannot make a living on it, either illegally or legally. And she said a lot of people are moving, a lot of jobs are leaving. It's just kind of a going downhill economy kind of place. If you've got a place up in the mountains, it's affordable, it's wonderful here. If you've already got your house or you got a good job like that hard-working trucker, then I think it's a great place. But if you're coming up here to try to thrive and raise a family and make a living, this is not the place to do it up here, because she said a lot of people are leaving. She's glad to have her job at the market. Nick Johnson, that's my channel. Yeah. What's your name, sir?
Mark.
I know that the illegal market was thriving, and then they made it legal.
It killed it.
And killed the illegal market.
Yes.
And then the legal market couldn't thrive because of competition. Do I have that right?
Yeah, and it was so hard to get legal. You're talking $20,000, $30,000 just to get legal. and a lot of people couldn't do it, and so a lot of people moved away. They didn't want to do it anymore, and they,
Here you go, sir.
Yeah.
All right, so you're Northern California guy up here, this general area. A lot of people, you just told me that you got done hunting.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know California's got hunters and a different way of life. They think California is all way down there, all the stuff. What's it like up here? How is it different than Southern California?
Well, it doesn't have all.
Hold it up here so like you're on TV.
It doesn't have the whole bullshit thing with Southern California. I mean, if they can get rid of some of the government there. I mean, it's so liberal down there. But everything's turning liberal down here. It's more conservative up here, I would say. But a lot of dope going up here, but they don't bother many people. They're just going on doing what they do. But I don't know, it just seems like a simpler life up here. But as far as anything else, I mean, I think it's an easier life. It's not as much hustle and bustle as down in the Bay Area. I mean, I'm more conservative, so I've been down there all my life, and it just keeps on changing. Tax. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, but that's about all I know.
So I see a lot of people up here do not like Gavin Newsom.
Nuisance? He's a piece of whatever. How's that? That guy's just a pretty boy. He's just a showman. That's all he is. He doesn't do anything. I mean, they ask him questions. Hey, what'd you do with the $20 billion for your homeless? He doesn't even have an answer for it, And like, what about the train that's going nowhere? What is it, going to Bakersfield? Who the hell goes to Bakersfield? There ain't nothing there. What he's already spent $20 billion on that too? So Trump finally cut him off, I mean, everybody I know hopes that it can change, but they got a super majority in Sacramento. So you're not going to get anything. It's not going to change here for years. I mean, the Democrats, these liberal Democrats, they're pieces of shit. They really are. I've never met a liberal Democrat that had a lick of common sense. How's that? They might be book smart, but not a lick of common sense. Dumb as a post. You're getting me going here now.
Hey, keep going, man. I mean, that's the mentality up here versus...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish they split the state in half. I mean, you look at that Karen Bass down in L.A., what a moron. Absolute moron. People want to live safe down there. They want to like bullshit down there. It's like, oh, yeah, we got to give more to all these immigrants. There's no problem with immigrants. These are illegal immigrants. Why don't they come in here legally, And they want to give them free health care? Hey, I don't want to pay for their health care. Sorry. I don't. I got 2 kids. I play for my own shit. Always have, worked my ass off. But I mean, this next generation, since they brainwashed all the young generation earlier here with all the liberal teachers and everything, I mean, it's a sad state of affairs. And it might take a long time, but they're going to have to push some of those liberal Democrats out of this state. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't have any more to say. I can tell you that one now.
That was good. What were you hunting? What were you shooting?
Deer hunting. Yeah. I mean, I'm just getting back. I had a cabin up there for 30 years, and it got burnt out in 2020. Now I'm going to clean my own property because some moron up there burnt down my forest. That fire burned 1 million acres and went all the way through the Ullavillies and everything. So everything I worked hard for 30 years is gone. It's like, I don't know. And that's all nuisance because they don't want to let you log. They'd rather burn up a forest and let all that carbon go up in the air, Oh, why? I can't let they cut all the jobs there. No logging up there at all. The guy's an idiot. Absolute flipping idiot. Let's save the planet. Green this, green that. Means nothing. I mean, we get all our oil from a third world country. We could be pumping it right out of here, California. We have plenty of oil here. Oh no, we have a special blend of gasoline, And they're closing down 2 refineries. They don't know what they're going to do. We could be paying $8 to $10 a gallon. Everybody else in the United States is paying $2.30 a gallon. It makes no sense. The guy's an idiot. Absolute idiot.
Can California be saved?
Oh, this state's the most beautiful state in the union. It's absolutely beautiful.
Hold it up here. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything I turn around. When I was a kid, God, I got to see the good shit. I did. And my folks before that got to really see some good shit. But now they've just screwed everything up. You can't even go fishing on our coast right now. They got salmon season closed down. They got everything. You get paid. You have to charge for everything. They charge you for everything around here. It's like, oh my God. I mean, when's it gonna end?
All right, we're leaving Laytonville and Mendocino County. This is where the pot started, and this seems to be where the pot is ending because everybody's leaving town. Mendocino County has seen better days. We're driving up the 101 right now. It's kind of raining. It's very isolated up here. The cell service is pretty much non-existent. There's a town about every 20 minutes up here. It's beautiful, just way more isolated than I think I remember. I've been up around here at some point. We're hoping it clears up because it's a lot better when it's sunny up here. Welcome to Leggett.
Turn left onto California 271 South, then
All right. It is rainy. See what we can find up here. Oh, there's a drive-through tree. I bet we have to pay for that. Nothing's free, damn it. We're gonna drive through Leggett really slow because this is it. Even slower, Kim, please. As slow as you can go. Okay, it's fine. All right, so we got a market with hunting, fishing licenses. We got a little, I think that might be a campground, and a gas station, and a little mini mart cafe that is not open anymore. This is the land that time forgot. I don't know what is going on up here. I've heard about the decline in the economy up here, but this town, there's nothing left. Everything's closed. One gas station. But the drive-through tree's open. Oh my goodness, this might be like a little glimpse of redwood land. We're 100 miles from the Redwood National Park, which we've been to before. Drive-through tree. It's very pretty up here, very spooky, very Bigfooty.
Very Twilighty.
Kim says very Twilighty. I don't watch vampires.
Vampire and werewolf.
Oh, look at this.
These trees are here. Yeah, we're going to pay, but I don't know what it is.
What are they going to charge us to drive through the tree? If it's less than $5, we're doing it. That's $5. $15.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Wait, can you stop so I can get that? Wait, I can't see. You have to back up.
That's okay.
Okay, right there. Okay, that's fine.
How are we going to get out?
We'll get out. All right, $15 per car. That's totally California for you. To drive through a redwood tree. I am not paying $15 to drive through a tree.
This is the total opposite of what God is showing. God is saying, I want to reveal, I want to show you, I want you to understand the things that are coming forth.
Okay, we are going to the world famous treehouse, believe it or not. I don't know what it is, if it's still open, but we're gonna find out. All right, so we kept seeing this treehouse, world famous. You won't believe it, treehouse on the map, and it is not here any longer. I think that this was some sort of a tourist attraction thing that closed down ages ago. Let's go back here and find out. I am slowly unraveling, I feel, an interesting twist to this California mountain detour. That's a really big redwood tree. I didn't realize that they were having so much trouble up here. I knew that life was slower paced, but it's been nothing but closed and abandoned and used to be. And the people up here are thrilled that they get to live up here because it's very beautiful. I think, unless they're trying to maintain their way of life, I'm sure they'd much rather have it up here if they could make it than down south. But it looks like it's starting to become a little bit more harder to make it up here. This whole operation here has been long gone for a while. I don't know if this has to do with the local economy, but it might, because we're seeing this all over the place here. I don't know if it has to do with the economy or just that's just how shit is in America, or just this is just how things are. Looking around, this seems like this is California's West Virginia up here along the 101, and these old trim towns, these old weed towns in Mendocino County, central Northern California. It's seen better days. Something that's no longer here, and that register has not been used in a long time. Okay. Confusion Hill. Not sure what Confusion Hill's all about. It looks like a little tourist trap. I thought this was going to be world famous Confusion Hill. World famous, just like the world famous treehouse across the street. Home of the rare, elusive chipmunk, antelope thing. All right, we'll see what this is all about. Confusion Hill was opened in 1949. Oh, okay, so it's a gift shop, snack bar, world famous Gravity House. Everything is built on the side of the hill. It's kind of hard for you to see, but it's very disconcerting because you come up here and everything is on an angle. This does not show on camera how much of on an angle you are, but you are walking, and this is really just not sure what the big deal is, to be honest with you. You're in a shack that's built on the side of a hill and you're leaning. I don't know, this is probably gonna get copywritten. I'll have to check. I have no idea what this music is. This is Northern California hippie dippy crap. Very weird, very odd.
Folks, at 1:45 in the afternoon. You're tuned to KMD Redwood Community Radio. It's a little set of music there. We're just listening to Banning Grove. Banning Grove is a very small group from Los Angeles that came through Humboldt County a couple times before the pandemic, and I picked up that record from them there. Really interesting couple of musicians. They produce all that stuff in their basement down there in Los Angeles. Well, whatever. It's 1:45 in the afternoon. Oh yeah, before that was Big Thief. I remember that. Big Thief. You guys heard of them?
Bigfoot stuff, no pulling. All right, the things I do for you, YouTube. We're on the side of the highway here off the 101. It's really coming down with rain. And came across the legend of Bigfoot tourist attraction thing back here. So we had to pull over. I'm gonna find out what it's all about. It's probably just another tourist trap. But sometimes when you see these side of the road places, you meet some very interesting people. And so that's what I'm gonna try to do right now. Out on the side of the 101 on a rainy day. Okay, what are we? What's the name of this place?
The Legend of Bigfoot.
Okay, why is there a Bigfoot store on the side of the highway on 101?
We're in Northern California, There's lots of Bigfoot sightings from here north into Oregon, Washington, things like that.
Okay.
There's been a few sightings around here. I don't know the people personally that have seen them, but I've heard stories. One was a Caltrans worker back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 3 or 4 years ago, there was a Santa Cruz sheriff officer that spotted one about a mile up the road, I guess.
What did that Bigfoot look like?
He did not specify. It was just on the side of the road.
A Bigfoot on the side of the road?
Yeah.
On the 101?
Uh-huh.
Right here?
Yeah.
A mile north?
Yes. Yeah.
So Bigfoot is... Do you believe in Bigfoot?
I don't know. I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to say yes. I mean, I think it's a possibility, but just because you haven't seen one doesn't mean it's not out there. A lot of people haven't seen mountain lions. You know they're out there.
Okay. The legend of Bigfoot continues. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Give it to me.
Bigfoot doesn't want to come out in public. He doesn't want to pay California taxes.
There you go. Thank you, sir. All right, so there you go. The legend of Bigfoot continues from the side of the highway on the 101. Is Bigfoot a liberal or a conservative? Well, that depends on how you feel. The guy back there said he's a conservative. Bigfoot voted for Donald Trump. There you go. It is still coming down pretty hard up here. They don't get a lot of rain up here, so when they get it, they get it. And it was about right up here on this stretch of highway that the lady said that the sheriff deputy said he saw Bigfoot right on the side of the road. Of course, we will not see it because we never see any of this stuff. UFOs, ghosts, Bigfoot, none of that crap ever appears when we're here. But if Bigfoot were to run across the road right now, I will get 10 million views on this video.
Come on, Bigfoot.
Come on, Bigfoot.
Do it for you too.
Do it for you too, Bigfoot. Come on, come run across. Nope, no Bigfoot. All right. Okay. We are coming up to Garberville. Now, this is a very famous place for marijuana, really. Murder Mountain, if you watch the Netflix documentary, is up on that hillside up there is the beginning of it, but wait, it's way past that. And we're gonna kind of drive through here. Look at the Garberville, the world famous trim town. It's a tiny Humboldt County community. It's right on the 101. A lot of you old boomers have been here before. Probably drove up here and smoked some pot or bought some pot or whatever you did. We're right on the edge of the redwoods. It's beautiful up here. It's a hippie town. They say life feels rural and countercultural. And of course, weed. Everybody up here smokes pot. It's in the middle of the Emerald Triangle. So the cannabis influence here is strong, mister. It smells like pot as soon as I rolled my window down. So that's Murder Mountain up there on top of that. Behind the food joint here. Behind me is the community of Garberville. Talking with people along the highway here, Garberville is kind of the perfect example of how this area has begun to suffer because of the pot industry. Again, people have slowly started to leave Garberville. I was told that as the money has left the area because of the marijuana leaving the area, businesses have started to shut down, and that does look to be true. People have told me that it's very expensive up here to live. Milk is $6 a gallon, gas is $6 a gallon. People can't afford to live up here as much as they used to be able to. It's very expensive. less expensive than it is in the Central Valley or in Southern California or the rest of the state, but it's still pretty pricey up here. And people have started to leave. They said people are going to Oregon, they're going to Montana, they can't afford it. They're tired of, look, it's still expensive to live in California, even if the cost of living up here isn't as expensive as it is in the rest of the state. High property taxes, high income taxes. It's an expensive state to be. So Garberville is an example of a town that is just suffering because of the economy. Kind of ironic that weed is what made the place and weed's what is bringing the place down. And I was told that the trimmigrants, which is a great term, these are the immigrants and the passer-throughers that would come up to Garberville and up here along this part of the state. The trimmigrants aren't coming up here as much. They would come up here and they would trim bud during the marijuana harvest season, and then they would stick around, and that would add to additional people that were moving here and spending money. All of the trimmigrants have moved on, and once the trimmigrants move on, that's a sign that a town's going downhill. So a lot of people are leaving this area, and that's sad because it really is beautiful up here. And most of the people that I've seen have a little smile on their face walking around. And behind me, Murder Mountain, off in the distance, is where all of the sketchy stuff happened, up on that hill up there. That's where they say that they were growing illegal bud forever up there. And if you go up there, there's still people up there doing illegal things. But if you go up there, it's going to be a bunch of sketchy drug-induced addicts and weirdos. And don't go up there, Nick. Don't go to Murder Mountain. It's not worth it. That's what people told me. So I am not going to go up there to Murder Mountain. Maybe on a different trip I will. Little Mexican joint. More tacos. Can you pull in right there? You can smell. It smells like tacos and weed in Garberville. It really does. It's a wonderful smell. It's just. More mountain. And this is what it looks like to live in Garberville. Believe it or not, houses on this street are $250,000. Some of them are under two. I saw some 199s and some 225s, a couple 290s. But if you wanted to live in a little mountain town that used to be the pot central of the damn country and wanted to pay $6 for a gallon of milk and a gallon of gas, it is really cool up here. Today's a dreary day, but it is very lovely up here. Very sensible. Small town values. $250. Some of this stuff's probably $220 for a house, but it is California. There's costs on top of that. And of course, if you decide you want to move up here, I know realtors everywhere. I can help you find a home. I doubt many people are going to want to move to Garberville or the rest of Central Northern California just because it seems like a lot of people are leaving. But that means there's opportunity for you to swoop up in here and open a little taco place or a bud place, or maybe a place where you can buy tacos and pot. So there you go. That's Garberville. That's pretty much the biggest place within an hour's drive along the 101, and it still only has 500 people live here. Look at those gas prices. God. Right here. So this is Fortuna. This is another wonderful little town up here. This is probably the biggest place. Very nice looking. Doesn't look like Fortuna's struggling at all.
Yeah, it's cute.
Then after Garberville, we came to our last stop in this video along the 101. There were a bunch of other stops, but I'm going to cut the video off at some point because it's going to be way too long. We came to the wonderful city of Fortuna. Fortuna is just a really nice looking little town up here. I've always heard about Fortuna as a little spot, but I've never. And here's just a typical neighborhood. Good news for you guys. Home prices are about $350 to $375, and I know a lot of you were saying that's not affordable for California. That's a song. That is very inexpensive to live in a really cool little mountain-ish community up here. Hey, don't tell me that there's no options for affordable in California. because this is a really cool little town if you're looking for somewhere to move. To get out of the hellhole that you're in California. Fortuna, surprisingly affordable. Wow, who would have thought? I think we're probably 30 minutes from the ocean, maybe less, I don't know. You could walk right into downtown Fortuna, where everybody would know your name and you guys can complain about all the politics going on down south. Look, they got a bakery, all these mom and pops, little art stores. This feels like it's probably kind of a little tourist stop.
A little market.
A little farmer's market over here. And it's, what is it, Tuesday?
Yeah.
Little taco place. Oh God, you know those are good.
Okay.
I don't see any store shuttered anything. It's a really cool place. Look at even the Little Caesars is nice looking.
To take the
Kim made a good point here. Not a single panhandler or junkie. But where we're going next, 23 minutes north in Eureka, I think things are not as nice as they are here. We'll find out. And that might be the first church that we've seen on the entire day up ahead. It seems very religious up here based on the damn radio station, but a friendly city. Not a lot of places in California can say that. Now, people in California complain that it's not affordable. They got to get out of here. We drove through probably 10 places up here just in this video and in other videos that are coming up in Northern California that are affordable. The average prices are around $350,000, which is the national average. That might seem like a lot to you, but it is a steal for California. And a lot of these places, they're sensible. You can get away. There's no BS. They don't put up with it. What are you waiting for if you have to stay in California, but you don't want to live in your crappy big old city on the coast or wherever you live? Pack your bags and get out. Come up to Northern California. Good people up here. A rainbow. Look at that. What is going on? And then just before we got to Eureka, our final stop on this leg of the journey, we came across this. It's in the hills right on the 101. Now, I don't know how you feel about California and the differences in this state and the politics, the ups and downs of living here. I don't care where you live. You see something like this and it can make you appreciate what you have. I like Northern California a lot. Kim and I had a great time up here. It's sensible, it's funky, it's weird. And, well, just look at it. Some people up here will say, the state's best days are behind us. Northern California used to be so much better. Or maybe not. Who knows? Maybe there's some gold right around the corner. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that report from America. So we've been to every state now, and we know so many great places that most people don't know about. If you're trying to figure out where you should move, I can help. Email me, and I'll tell you about how I can find you the perfect place for you to move to.